Your life. Good morning. Dozier, Uncle Joe. You guys are live, please.
Okay, good morning. Good morning. Good morning, Ma. Good morning, Uncle Joe. Can you
Good
hear me?
morning, Coach Ebuka. Sure, I
Yes,
can hear
sir.
you.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Good to have you here. You're welcome. And
Thank you.
also welcome to our audience. We are here now. All right, so Uncle Joe, welcome to the show. How has it been for you since last night?
Oh, well, thank you so much for welcoming me. Yesterday was hot. It was hot. It was hot. It was hot. Like,
Yeah.
I just sat on the edge of my seat all through as Pastor Wisdom was dishing it out so hot. All through, all through. It was amazing. Amazing, all
Mm,
through, from the beginning to the end. Even towards the end, when Coach was trying to ask him to round up, he was battling with, when he said he was outside and he needed to go in for a program, he was still battling with pouring out more things. It was just so much. Awesome. Thank you.
true, true. Very correct. And then after then we had Mr. Akinropo come talk to us about the hallmark of fatherhood. Mr. Akinropo dwelt a lot
Yeah.
about creating culture, communities, and environments around raising children. So that's it from yesterday. This morning we have Uncle Ebuka in the building, and he's going to be joining us ASAP. We already are 10 minutes into the schedule for this morning. So Uncle Ebuka will be here in no time, but before he comes up, let us play his introduction.
Ebuka Obika Ede is
Okay.
into boys development and youth mentoring. He does this through mentoring, coaching, and training them in life, leadership, and purpose, and also by acting as a parent partner. He sees to the total development of boys and advocates for their well-being. He has certificates in emotional intelligence, teens mentoring, and organizational leadership. He is a graduate of sociology with an MSc in organizational leadership. He also has a certificate in non-profit leadership management course from the Lagos Business School. For over a decade, he has taught boys, teenagers, and youth in a unique, practical, and humorous way to learn personal responsibility, breaking and overcoming addictions, and leadership. He is a TEDx speaker and also speaks at youth conferences, seminars, schools, churches, youth, and parent platforms. He offers consultancy services for individuals and families. As a way of sharing feedback from his experience with the boys, he convenes the Boys Leadership Academy, Total Men Online Summit, Mentoring Club for Boys, and convenes the annual International Boys Conference as a platform to train boys and men on how to lead positive and productive lives. He received the National Volunteers Award in 2020 on his work for humanity and listed among the top 10 finalists for Nigeria Diversity Award. He is the author of The Journey into Manhood, that is a great resource for boys and young men. He is happily married to youth, and the union of over 5 years is blessed with one biological daughter and many foster sons. Gentlemen, please make welcome to the TIP Fathers Conference 2022, Ebuka Obika Ede.
All right. So, like I said, Uncle Ebuka is here and pumped, ready to give it to us fire for fire. If I see you in the comment section, I will know that you are ready to receive Uncle Ebuka. But then I also think that we have an inner circle review that we are going to share with you right now as Uncle Ebuka comes up.
My
Inner
name is
circle
Ebuka
review.
Ede. I'm a husband, I'm a father, and I'm a member of the Inner Circle of the Intentional Parents Academy. TIP Inner Circle has been one of the best things that's happened to me. I have a daughter of 3, I have foster sons, that are in their teenage age, and even those that are above the teenage age. When I joined TIP last year, my daughter was still 2, and then my foster son, it was really tasking as I had a lot of things to do, my schedules, it was really clashing. At some point I was like, can I go on? Can I continue? I was like, okay, maybe I'll suspend it for another year. And I was just in the midst of that confusion last year. And when I came into one of the sessions one day, I haven't told Coach about it, and I can't remember what she said. I remember one of those sessions, after I had that thought, Coach was talking about having time. She kept saying, I have time to parent my children. I have time. It hit me. And I felt God was talking to me. And I told myself, I kept saying throughout that session, I have time. I have time to parent my children. I have time to parent my children. And I'm going to take this up. And one major lesson that I learned at the inner circle is that parenting is first about you. And I am first a father before I'm even a boys coach. And that is what God is going to really ask or require of me. How have I been able to raise my own children? I became intentional, attending classes, learning, equipping myself. I drew a structure. I was working with a structure, and that was one of the things we learned at Inner Circle, having a structure that works, having an effective structure, knowing that this time is allocated, these things are important, and I could see it playing out in my life and the way I raise my children. Just last week, my wife told me, wow, I really love the way you parent, our children. I can see results, I can see transformation in their life. In fact, she said, I need to join TIP immediately, Inner Circle immediately, because I can see it working. Even before your child is born, you need to start learning. Even while you are married or even preparing for, you need to start learning. As a toddler, I learned a lot in connecting. I could see that in my daughter. She can connect, she can speak, she can identify her body parts, she knows what to do, she knows when somebody is going beyond boundaries. She herself understands boundaries. She knows that, adult phones are for adults. Hearing the voice of Coach Wendy, the bishop, every day, it's just like God is speaking. The arrow just keep coming, and you are just awakening. Every session is an awakening for me. And people just tell me, how do you relate with this voice so easily? I just smile, and I know that what I'm learning from TIP is in sex conversation, is in connecting, is in building relevant skills. You could see the result practically in my children. You could see it even playing out in my own marriage. Just helps everything, realigns everything about you. And for me, I keep saying, Inner Circle is one of the best things that has happened to me. When I see the testimonies at TIP, I'm like, wow, I'm a living testimony. I can say we need to compile a book of our testimonials, and let the world see the transformation that we need. If every parent is in TIP, as in the transformation we need in the world, will just happen to us if we are ready to do the work. I'm having a beautiful family, a beautiful home, because I'm open to learning despite all that I know. And I want to employ every father here. We need you at the Inner Circle. Sometimes I wish every father can just be a part of what is happening at the Inner Circle, because it's a 360 turnaround, knowing where you need to be involved and how, the tools, and there is no way you will practice these tools and not see results. It's not possible. No matter. It's not possible. You must see results. And the crisis we're having at home, the disconnection of children with fathers, a lot of women are doing everything on their own. And it's just so beautiful when both partners work together to ensure that the children are raised. There's just a difference. I implore every father to be part of this, to do all you can to be in this. You will thank me later and say, thank you, that coach, for helping me join. That's why I'm a coach. I'm training everybody. I'm learning because I cannot fail as a parent because I'm a coach. Thank you, Coach Wendy. Thank you, TIP. Thank you, Inner Circle. Thank you, fathers that are listening to me. And I want to see you at the TIP, at the Inner Circle next year. I want it to be a harvest of fathers, because we are rising up to make the change. Thank you.
Awesome. Uncle Ebuka is here in the building, live and direct.
I celebrate grace.
Welcome, sir. Welcome. Good to have you in the building. Good to have you. So the topic is the boy and the man. You are the king of boys, so I'll give it to you. The floor is yours now.
Thank you so much for having me. Thank you, TIP. Thank you, Coach Edozie. Thank you, Uncle Joe. Thank you, Mother in Israel, Mama Cathedral, my bishop, my mentor. I celebrate grace, and I count it a great privilege to be in this platform, speaking to fathers all over the world. We are taking over, and I can see that TIP, we are moving on the speed of light. Thank you for having me. So this morning or afternoon or evening, wherever you're joining us from, we're going to be talking about the boy and the man. So we don't have time. I'll just go straight to the point. The boy and the man. I want to first of all congratulate every father that is here and thank you for being intentional. Thank you for working so hard to be here, that we are having fathers listening. For me, it's a big deal because it's something we have been praying for. And seeing that testimony for me. All right. I remember one of those days in my session where in our academy, we are supposed to have a parent session in the evening. And I told the children to tell their fathers to be there. One boy practically told me, he said, Coach, my father will never attend, no matter what I tell him. He said it openly. I reached out to him. He said, we will not attend. There's no need. And I'm beginning, I was really, disturbed by the impression this boy is already having about his father, that he's not ready to learn. And for every man here, I celebrate you. And I'll start by saying that, it's not really easy to be a father. It's a lot of work. It's a lot of hard work. Yes, I acknowledge that it is not easy. I acknowledge that it can be tough. I acknowledge that it is not easy. But I want to tell you this morning, it is not easy. It's not a parenting plan. It has not been easy for anybody, anywhere. Nobody has won an award for taking it easy. Nobody. Nobody has won an award by saying, by crying it's not easy. They say, see, this man has cried so much that it's not easy. Let us give him this award. Nobody. I mean, nobody. Nobody. So it's not easy, and it has not been easy for anybody. And nothing good comes easy. So it is not easy, it's not a parenting plan. Because I'm encouraging you as a man, and I'm also motivating you, I'm also inspiring you. Nobody has achieved success, great success as a father, as a man, by just sleeping or playing around. Nobody. Because merely cannot kill a bird. Merely cannot kill a bird. I say it again, it is not easy. It's not a parenting plan, and it cannot raise a home. We must take the bull by the horn. We must do that. We must do that. I discovered recently that irresponsibility is so costly. In fact, I think it's even more costly than being responsible. Because the pain, the trauma, the cost, the expense you will go through as a man for being irresponsible is much more than what you will spend for being responsible. So for being responsibility is costly. It's too expensive. A few months ago, a friend of mine, somebody reached out to me. I needed to do a counseling session for a son who had under the influence of drugs and, was having a mental issue. And when I reached out to the psychologist, and even when I heard the price, I shook. It's expensive. I shook. And when he told me it's for 3 contacts, 1 hour, and it's in hundreds of thousands. I said, I can't do more than that. I can't do more than that. Irresponsibility is costly. So we need to leave this facade of it's not easy, things are difficult, things are tough. People that also parented well and raised a generation, it wasn't easy for them. It is hard work. Parenting is hard work. I was in the program yesterday and I met a father that told me that, in fact, we need to start having parenting academy where people will go through, just the way we go through to study engineering, medicine. He said parenting should be top of the list. People should go to and have certificates even before marriage and have an ongoing course. I say yes. And TIP is doing that. I have to talk about TIP even in that place. I think go and follow. We have the academy already. It is a great task. It's not for the lazy. It's not for the faint-hearted. You need a lion's heart. You need the mind of an eagle to soar and penetrate through the difficult terrains of this time. Like an eagle, the tougher the situation, the higher source because he's not limited by situation. He has built capacity to navigate. As long as I say, in this time, oh, LGBT, oh, this, our sons are this, oh, I have the heart of. And the parents who are like the eagle, the tougher the situation, the more you're able to penetrate and fly because you are riding on the wings of knowledge. So it's not easy anywhere. Irresponsibility is expensive. It's one of the gross and the most expensive things I've seen in my time working with parents. You will spend that money. You don't want to spend to attend a course of 15,000. So I'm encouraging you as men, and I'm also motivating us to rise up to responsibility. We cannot continue to lose our children, especially our boys, because the boy is a reflection of the man. We cannot continue to parent in ignorance. We cannot continue to parent in obscurity. We cannot continue to parent broken and shattered. And I keep telling people, you cannot see your reflection in the boiling water. A water is boiling, and you look at it, you can't see your reflection in it. You need the water to calm first, to settle, then you can look at it. You cannot parent in a boiling life. You cannot parent in an angry. I keep saying it. An angry father cannot raise an emotionally healthy boy. You can't. A violent father cannot raise an emotionally healthy son. You can't, because you can't see your reflection in the boiling water. You need to settle, so that the sons can take a good reflection of who you are, and they are not confused what to take. Because the boy is a reflection of the man. And like I said, every man first became a boy. You cannot be a man without being a boy. You can't be a man without being a boy. You have to first be a boy. Even Adam, that was not, born, all right, God created. He had to go through the process of being a boy to become a man. You can't. I'm talking about even our Lord Jesus Christ, who came. All right, he has to go through the process of becoming a boy so that he can understand our own infirmities. And I keep saying that is why you, as a father, you have to go through the process of becoming a boy. And that's why God allowed you to become a boy, a teenager, and then a man, understanding boyhood before you transit into manhood, so that you can truly transmit, you can truly transfer what you want to see in your boy as they grow. It is not easy. It's not a parenting plan. It's a hard work. And when I was reflecting or meditating on this for this conference, there was a story that I saw. I've not seen that story in that light. The story in the Bible, but that story really, it really got to me. It really, really got to me. And that's when I understood that responsibility is costly. And I'll use that story to explain to you how the boy is a reflection of the man. How whatever we want to see in our son tomorrow is what you are today. How you understand that your son cannot be anything less than what you are, and the reason why we must rise up to responsibility. It was a shocking story of David. That when kings went to war, David was moving around, doing sightseeing on top of the roof, and he saw a woman naked. When people were at war, when the soldiers were at war, when men were being responsible in the field, he had a careless moment. He saw a woman, took the woman, slept with her, and the woman became pregnant. Oga was like, what will I do? This soldier is at war, and I've impregnated the wife. You know what he did? He quickly called. That's why I say his irresponsibility is costly. Because you'll be looking for different ways to patch, and at the end of the day, it is disaster. He called the man from war and said, hey, come and relax, come and rest small. Go to your home, go and have fun, go and relax. The man said, how can the ark of the Lord be in the field and I'm here relaxing? He refused to go. He sat down there. He said he refused to go home because he said, men are at war. I can't be careless. He sat down there. Sat down, He refused. By the time David heard that this man didn't go, because he wanted him to go and sleep with the wife so that it would be that he's the one that impregnated the woman. He now called for a party, made the man drunk. Even in drunkenness, this man understood the place of responsibility as a man. He refused to go home. He has to go back to the battlefield. And when David discovered, see, what will I do next? He arranged for the man to be killed at the battlefield so that he can cover up the shame of that irresponsible act. Mind you, he already had sons that were watching. He didn't know. Let's just go. And this man, with the arrangement of David, was killed in the battlefront. David then came and took the wife, and he had a son for him. And the prophet came one day and told David, he said, there's a scenario I want to paint for you, and I want to paint it for you as a father. That there are two men, one is very rich, one is very poor. This rich man had a lot of cattle, sheep, and a lot of things. This poor man just had something little that is managing with the family. And a traveler came and needed one of the cattle. And this rich man, instead of taking from his abundance, went and took from that of a poor man, the poor man to give the traveler. And the prophet asked David, what should be done to that man? David said, what? That is evil. That man should be disciplined. That man should be flogged. That is wickedness. How will such a man do a thing? The prophet said to David, you are that man. And I want to tell you, then listen to us. These things we're talking about, we're not talking about fathers in America and UK, useless fathers or people that are irresponsible. We're not talking, we're talking about ourselves. What are we talking about this morning? You as the man. Because when we come for conference and you say, some fathers are irresponsible. They are not doing anything. You will come. So we are talking to ourselves this morning that you are the man. Do you know what happened? Years later, David's two sons followed the same step. Absalom and Amnon. One slept with his half sister, the other one slept with David's wife. Before the whole people, in the open, a secret that he did, he committed where nobody was, behind closed door. His sons did more and worse in public. Today, say that the son did not just sleep with any other girl, but with his own wives in the open. The boy and the man. You know what happened? The boy later became the man. The boy later became his father. Maybe it's possible the father didn't even see what transpired or what happened. Let's even imagine, but I'm sure they later heard. But he later became David. And even worse, the boy and the man. The boy later became a reflection of his father, raised to power 10. He later became a reflection of his father in a higher dimension. Young people will say, a reflection of his father, Pro Max. Your son is a reflection of you. When the parents come and say, my son is so arrogant, he's so violent, he doesn't listen. Anything you say, he walks out on you, he wants to hit you. I don't know where this boy learned this from. What is this? This is not my child. Excuse me, ma. I said, who acts like this in your house? Can you just think? He said, my husband is like that, too. That's all. The boy has become a reflection of his father, either consciously or unconsciously. What are you mirroring to your sons? David's sons brought a shame and disgrace to Israel that had never been heard, but it started from the carelessness of a father. You know, sometimes when we talk about this, then I see the rate of pornography among boys, and they say, a lot of boys are this, their fathers are not talking to them. Oh, what is happening? A lot of fathers are also struggling with pornography. A lot of fathers have not also had discipline over their sexual desire, over their sexual appetite. They've not been able to even model sexual purity. Consciously or unconsciously, the boy is becoming a reflection of the father. This story of David really is wowed me, and I've not recovered from it when I saw it in Dallas. I said, what? That the son did even worse because the boy will later become the man. So everything we are seeing in the world today about boys, there's nobody following them anywhere. They are just a reflection of the men they are seeing in the society. Because a boy is a product of what he's seeing. It is what he's beholding that is becoming. And I charge us as men, and I'm holding us accountable that whatever our sons are becoming is a reflection of who we are. It's a reflection of our minds, a reflection of our lives. It's a reflection of our personality. It's a reflection of our understanding. It's a reflection of our thoughts. It's a reflection of our actions. What are you modeling? So we can't keep complaining. The boys in this generation, the young boys in this generation, they are this, they're arrogant. They're supposed to do as boys. They are doing this. Where is the man that will teach them what they need to do? Where are they? Where are they? Where do we get them from? And so that is the challenge I'm bringing to us as a man, as men, as fathers, who our sons are longing for models, who our sons are longing for a model, for somebody who will show them what it means to be a man, for somebody that will show them what it means to actually be the man that we all want them to be. The challenge I'm seeing is that we are telling boys to become something we have not shown them in templates. We are asking them to become something they have not been shown, not just taught, or been shown to do. We're asking them to become something that they've not been modeled to become. How will it work? The boy and the man. Every day I sit in my sessions. A boy called me last month and said, please, can you talk to my father to come into your sessions and listen? I have a wonderful relationship with my mother, but I wish I can have this with my father, but he will never come in. Can you beg him? He was saying, let me give my father's number to beg him. This is a boy who is longing. He's my father. I want to connect with him. He's the one that will show me what it means to be a man. How do I connect? How can he teach when he has not been taught? How can you be a preacher of something you have not learned? So there's a lot of knowledge gap. We have a lot of ignorant fathers who want to raise knowledgeable children. Your son is a mirror of who you are. So for me, I want you to reflect and ask yourself, what have you been modeling? We want successful children. Have they seen you reading? We want sexually pure children. Are you sexually pure? Some fathers are struggling deeply with pornography, with masturbation, with homosexuality, struggling deeply with sexual impurity and immorality. Some fathers don't have sexual boundaries. Sex chatting, infidelity. Our children can't be anything less. You see the rate of pornography we see among boys. I say we take the blame as men. Because the boys are mirroring us. What do we need to do? Because we cannot rise above what we know. We cannot rise. We cannot just keep complaining. We need to rise up. Because the future is at stake. Marriages are breaking up. Families are unstable. Leadership in the country is horrible. And you keep asking yourself, who raised these men? It was another man that raised them. They are a reflection of the people that raised them. And when I see even things happening in the political scene, I keep saying, our boys are even watching. They are watching that men who claim to be people of integrity mortgage integrity for financial gain. They are seeing when envelope is changing hands and we are removing people of integrity to put people who we know they lack integrity. What do you want them to do tomorrow?
Whatever this nation becomes tomorrow is a reflection of the men that are in the nation now. The boy is a reflection of the man. What are we modeling? What are we modeling? Last month, a boy called me and said he had nocturnal emission, wet dreams. And the father told him that that is wrong. Why will you have nocturnal emission? It's not proper for a boy to have nocturnal emission. I said, seriously? You don't even understand wet dream. I said that you didn't have wet dream as a father. I don't understand. If we still struggle as men to teach our sons sex education, to know that it's not even just about your son, to know that every boy around is a reflection of you in your neighborhood, every boy, if you're not even intentional to gather them, teach them purity, to model. I still see boys who till today, till tomorrow, who tell me, my mother taught me the first shaving. My mother shaves me. I say, is your father not there? He doesn't have time and he can't do such. I'm literally shaking like, but Oga, you have armpits. You have armpits. You shave. Is it your son's armpits that is difficult? I keep wondering when I keep hearing boys of 16 who say, no, my father has not taught me sex education, or he just mentioned it once. Nobody should touch your penis and that is all. And I'm like, how do we want to raise men of sexual purity, of integrity and skill? How? The boy and the man. How? And then the day the boy, you get the boy watching pornography, you want to kill him. You want to stab him to death. How many of us have not seen the pornography scene? Growing up, you didn't see. The ones you are watching in those videos where people are shaking their bum and opening their breasts, what is different from pornography? I see the father who have even struggled with pornography and God help them, and you want to kill your son because you caught him in pornography. Have you taught him porn literacy? Have you helped him to understand boundaries? Have you been skillful in connecting? Can he ask you questions that he's having in his heart, in his mind? How will he not watch pornography? Where else will he get the attention he's asking you for? The boy and the man. David's son did 20 times more than the mistake of that father, because they saw, they took him, and they replicated. They did not only sleep with women, but slept with their fathers, his father's wives. You will say, oh, how will such a boy do that? That is evil in our land. Oh my God. How will such a father do that? The boy and the man. So whatever we see in your son is you. This boy is not reading. He is not serious. Has he seen you reading? You don't take your academics serious. Has he seen you in a parenting program? He doesn't wash his clothes. He will not dress his room. Has he seen you washing your own clothes and that of your wife, helping out? He is so lazy. You can't. Has he seen you in the kitchen helping your wife? He has bad friends. Stop following bad boys. But you go and stay with your friends. 12 a.m. you are not back drinking in a bar. It is the boy and the man. Whatever you do in the secret or in the open, the law of seed time and harvest and the law of recreation makes it that your son just takes in, even whether he's seeing you or not. It's a transfer of life. You transfer that life. And so whatever you do is being transferred, whether he's seeing you or not. It's just a law that is sacrosanct. Let's wake up. Irresponsibility is costly. And we saw that in Eli. Tongue-talking prophets, demon chasing, preaching the whole of Israel, restoring. But his sons will be in the temple, sleeping with women, doing atrocities. Live there. These boys will not hear a word. They will not do this. Intentional parenting is not permissiveness. Discipline is not permissiveness. But the challenge is that we have a lot of fathers who want to connect, who want to correct without understanding. Who want to give rules without relationship? And I tell you, rules without relationship will only lead to rebellion. Rules without relationship is rebellion pro max. Discipline without relationship only lead to bitterness, anger, and resentment. That's what it can lead to. That's what it will lead to. Rules without relationship leads to rejection. At the end of it all, what should we do as fathers? I have to counsel for us this morning as men. Or have to know even wherever you're hearing me from. And the first counsel is that we must acknowledge our need for help. When you're traveling by air and they're giving you the safety precautions, they tell you that in case of an emergency, if you're carrying a child and you need to fix your mat, they say fix your own first. You need to be well before you can help another person. You don't fix your child. You say fix yours first so that you can be okay. Then you can fix another person. When somebody is drowning professionally, they tell them, until the person is tired of struggling, you don't go to help. Because when the person is still struggling, he can drag you that is going to help him with him into the water and you drown together. The person needs to come to the end of himself first so that you can help him. And so that both of you will not die trying to help each other. It is wickedness to somebody's life for somebody to be sick in coma and say, I'm okay. You're in coma. Don't touch me. Don't give me anything. Don't give me drug. I want it. You cannot fight a battle you're not aware of, and you cannot win a battle you're not prepared for. One of the things I've seen we need to break that as men is that culture of I know everything. I know it. It's that culture of I know it all. We are living in denial. We're in war, but some men say nothing is happening, everything is okay. Hey, let me tell you something I discovered. We used to say before in Africa, oh, we have morals. Thank God we even have morals. Our children are even disciplined. We are not as bad as the Western. We have overtaken them. I'm telling you, the gross immorality and decadence is we have overtaken them. It is that we see their own on media every day, but our own is happening in the secrets. Talk about homosexuality. People tell me, is there a Nigerian thing? No, it's a Nigerian thing. The top 3 countries with the highest gay porn view are Africans. Nigeria is one of them. African countries. Even in watching pornography, Africans we are topping the list. I think Nigeria is number 3. The culture of I know it all. Oh, there's nothing wrong with my son. He's just quiet. He's a quiet boy. People should leave this boy to be quiet. I keep saying quietness is not a fruit of the spirit. Quietness is not a proof of morality. It is skills. Let that quietness translate into skills, translate into a life of integrity, of discipline, of responsibility. Acknowledge your need for help. And that is my plea to every father here. I think fathers say, what are they saying in that thing that I don't know? I'm in the inner circle. I'm a coach, but I'm learning. I'm paying every year for it. I'll keep paying until inner circle say it has finished. But as long as inner circle remains, I will enter and pay and learn. I have a lot of books here on parenting, on fatherhood, on boys. I'm sharpening my skills. First for me, because I cannot fail in parenting because I'm a coach. That you're a pastor does not mean your children will turn out well. Let us ask Pastor Eli. Man of God, but the children ruined his ministry, his family, and his career. Acknowledge your need for help. Let us break this culture and that is what our sons are copying. Sometimes I come into a session with some boys at 17, 18, and you can see the arrogance, like, what do they want to tell me? A boy came in one day and said, I know everything you want to say. My father is a pastor, we know everything, he has preached everything. And the mother kept begging. I think it's just a reflection of his father. There's nothing we can do. We can't help a child who thinks he knows what to do. Acknowledge. I want us to leave this meeting acknowledging our need for help. That our boys are a reflection of who we are. That our boys they are going to become the man that we are now tomorrow. What are we modeling? What are we showing? What are we showing? What are we showcasing? How are we modeling manhood? We say our boys don't have empathy and they're violent, but they keep seeing as fathers shut down their wives. They keep seeing as some of our women are slaves. I met a boy who told me that I can't. My father said I should not enter the kitchen. Kitchen is for women. Kitchen is for women, and I cannot be treating people that work for us fair with dignity because I'm a man. I must be on top of them. I think a reflection. You can see how that boy has taken that so seriously and is reflecting his father. Acknowledge your need for help. And when you see that need, the second counsel I want you to do as a man is to go for knowledge. Like I want us to finish this fathers registering for inner circle, joining TIP. And I said in this time, what we need, what we thrive is teams and tribes. It's not just individual. And you are calling your teams, it's enough. It is enough when men are just doing a one man army. We are just on our own. We don't care. We are calling, mobilizing other men and saying we need to come to light. What we thrive in this time, how we can conquer this darkness is in teams and tribes. Teams and tribes of men, teams and tribes of fathers who are rising up, who are waking up to responsibility, who are saying no. We can't take this ignorance anymore. Mobilizing other men and say, come, let's listen. You come for parents program, you think it's just a women's program. Women are not the only parents. You go to school, I keep saying, should they turn PTA to Mother Teachers Association? Fathers are not available. If they come from my children's school, I want to be the first. I plan myself to be there first. If my wife wants to go, no problem. But me, I want to be there. For what they call open day to assess my daughter's works. I was there even 2 weeks ago. How is she faring? Where do we need to wake up? Where do we need to build? Where does she need help? How can we improve? Intentionality. Mobilizing other men, other teams, and say, let us come to this. So I've given you 2 counsel. And for me, if you run with this counsel, acknowledge your need for help and go for knowledge. Buy books. I want TIP to further comment. And there's a massive order of books by men. When the Ologe's books is in fact, I have almost all her books here. Is it puberty? Is it civil library? Is it on parenting? Every book I'm devouring, I'm eating. I cannot fail because I'm a coach. There's some shocking statistics all over the world that we are seeing. There's one by National Fathers Initiative that I saw, where they say that adolescent boys with absent fathers are more likely to engage in delinquency other than those whose fathers are present. The individuals from father-absent homes are 279 times more likely to carry guns and deal with drugs than those living with their fathers. The father's involvement in school is associated with the likelihood of getting mostly A's as their grades. That will show you the power of fatherhood. Pastor said yesterday, you can have 2 foundations in the home. It's one foundation. And if the foundation be destroyed, what can the home do? The last time I looked at the Koyi building that collapsed, and I'm like, what happened? What went wrong in the foundation? That is to show you, and I saw the devastation. So many families were in, crying. And I was just looking and saying, this is how it is when the crash is great. The trauma, the pain, the things that goes on in that family is beyond explanation. And so many homes are already shaking like those houses that collapsed in Lagos and other parts of Nigeria and the world because the foundation is faulty. When you have a faulty foundation, when fathers are not in place, that family is shaking. And in no time, disaster is looming. How can we How can we be the reason why many homes are having disaster when we are called as people of peace? We are the men, and I want to close now, that will change the world. A lot of families, a lot of foundations are shaking because fathers are missing. If the foundation be destroyed, tell me, what can the righteous do? We can't have two foundations in the home. It is you. It is I. It is I. And there's statistics upon statistics I can read that are so shocking on how the father holds a family. As I close, I want to ask you, because of our time, what are you mirroring? What are your children seeing? What is your boy seeing? If that boy becomes who you are now tomorrow, will you be happy? We were in Lagos with Coach Wendy when Lagos State Governor's wife invited us for a program, and we heard what the Controller General of Prison for Lagos said, that almost every male in the prison, there's this linkage, there's this trend, there's this common factor around each of them, is that most of them have absent fathers. A lot of them keep talking about how their father, even in the prison, you don't see the fathers come. It's the mothers you keep seeing are filled with boys. You know why they're looking for attention? You know why they're going to courtesan to look for strength? Because it's the man that they should find strength in. An understanding of masculinity is not modeling. So they're looking for other ways that they can model masculinity, that they can learn masculinity. Our prisons are filled with men. I end by telling you, you are the man. David was saying, that man that did this should be killed. He should be dealt with. Why will he do such a thing? The prophet said, you are the man. You are the man. I am the man. Let's leave the fathers who are in the prisons or those who have missed it. What about you? What about me? You are the man. You are the man. You are the man. You are the man. And David broke down in tears and was begging for mercy. But even at that, the consequences still came in his children. They still recreated, they still replicated in full measure. You are the man. I don't have to tell yourself, I'm the man. I'm the one they are speaking to. Don't say, those homosexuals, they are the one. No. Tell yourself, I'm the man. Go to the chat room and tell yourself, I am the man. It's me they are talking to. You have fathers are still struggling with addiction. I say, but who said my father takes shisha? My father doesn't have respect for women. My father is lazy. My father is this. I have a boy who for years have been downtrodden and I refuse to pass because the father told him that he's a failure and can never amount to anything good in life. I've been to programs where I've seen boys crying, telling me I hate my father. I said, but who told me I feel like killing my father? How can that boy become a healthy man? Because an angry man cannot raise an emotionally healthy boy. It's not possible. And no matter how cool our mothers are, they don't have penis. They don't produce sperm. They don't have muscles like the man. They are not, a woman is not a man. No matter how you want to coin it, there's a limit to which the woman can do. So for everything happening in the world with boys, we, the men in this place, are taking responsibility. We are building ourselves as teams and tribes and saying, no, enough. We are holding ourselves accountable. We are calling other men and saying, enough of this crisis. I'm waking up to my own home and saying, enough. My wife is not a slave. My son must model rightly. I must model rightly to my son. Who are you? That is what your son will become. So many of our sons, recent time, I'm counseling boys with pornography between age 8 and 12. I've not seen such a mess in my life. 8 years watching porn. I saw a boy who told me, sir, that I saw the first pornographic image in my father's phone. And do you know what the boy said? It was even my father's nakedness. No, didn't know how to. I couldn't. He said, I started seeing porn through my father's phone. You are the man. You are the man. It is you. It is you that will model. I've seen boys who have gone through deep issue, broken in tears and in pain because of the words of his father. Every boy wants to be led. The yearning of every boy is the yearning for leadership. It's the yearning for a man. I see them crying. I'm overwhelmed. As I have messages in my phone of sons I can't, I have group for my sons that even on WhatsApp, I'm overwhelmed. Boys will call me at 6 a.m., at 12 midnight, in the midnight, calling, yelling. You could see the yelling for leadership. They want a man they can talk to. They want a man they can connect to. They want a man they can pour out to. They want a man that they can tell, this is what I'm going through. They want a man they can tell. So I'm struggling with pornography. I'm struggling with erection. What do I do? Fathers are not there. Fathers are pretending as if they don't have erections. They've not had erections as teenagers. Fathers are pretending as if they've never had crushes as a teenager. You had a crush now as a teenager. You wrote love later. Why do we forget? God made you go through that so that you can become a perfect high priest like Jesus, who went through the infirmities of us as boys. He went through that. He said he's a perfect high priest because he understands our own infirmity. That's why you first became a boy, a teenager before a man, so that you can understand the infirmities of boyhood, so that you can understand the infirmities of teenagehood. How come we pretend as if we never went through that? You've never had a crush? Some of you didn't marry as virgins now. You had sex. Why are we not having those conversations with our sons? But we lock them in. They shouldn't go out. They can't go out. Oh, sorry. Locking your child in is not a proof that he will be right. Shutting him in, locking him, and even seizing phones does not make him moral. So forget it. I know a lot of sons who have phones in their houses that their fathers are not aware. I know boys who don't read phones. They don't use phones, but they are addicted to pornography and sexual immorality. It's not about that. I see father say, who is that boy talking to my son? My son is okay. I know my son. He's this. His son is sexually active, but I don't have time to drag. I'm called on a mission, and it's that boy. The boys are yelling for you as a father. I'm overwhelmed with calls of boys who keep yelling. Can I talk to you? Can I ask you this question? Can I do this? I barely sleep. If we had fathers where they could talk to, I wouldn't be overwhelmed. I have over 20 parents on the waiting list for mentoring. My slots are full because these people are looking for a father figure for their sons. If our fathers are doing what they need to do, we will not be overwhelmed. I won't be overwhelmed. I have 3 groups for mentoring full. I can't even create the fourth one. Where is space? Boys that are yelling for the attention of a man, and you could see the excitement in the face of my boys when they're talking about erection, puberty. They say, sir, this is what I'm going through. This is what I never knew. Oh, really? Oh, can I shave now? I had it shaving. I had some bumps. I had some rashes. You see excitement because you see a man who is telling them what they are going through. I was in a session with somebody yesterday. Boy yesterday said, sir, you just read my life. Nobody has shown me my life like this. Can I even see you physically? Why are we causing pain to our generation? What has these young boys done to us that we have disconnected them from a world of connection? We have put them in a cage where I think they are no longer humans. They can't connect, they can't relate, they can't reflect, they can't talk. We have put them in a box. Why? The boy is a mirror of you. Let's sit down and talk. Is it sex we can't call? Is it penis? Is it sperm? Is it scrotum? Is it up? Is it erection? Is it crush? Is it feelings? Is it what? But you know what? Some of us are not even skilled. We don't know what to say. Go for knowledge. The boy is a mirror of you. As I close, I'm making a call to fathers all over the world. Let's rise and save our sons. Let's take from the life of Jonathan Edwards, who from generation after generation, look at the things that he produced: a vice president, senators, doctors, lawyers. This was a man that was intentional. That they said when this man is preaching, he said, you have to hear me. He said, you must hear me because I have a word for my generation. He was a pastor. He was a man of God. He was in different sectors, but his generation, he was intentional. Generation after till today, his generations are still reaping from the legacy of the man. You sure it's not about you. If you do your work well as a father, even generation yet unborn will celebrate you. But anytime we share that Jonathan Edwards, we tell another man, I've forgotten his name, who was also his contemporary at that time, who raised murderers, who raised rapists, who drug addict who died prematurely, even with all the money. So your problem is not money, your problem is not time. It's a problem of priority. Everybody is busy. And I say it's not easy for anybody. And I've told you, it's not easy, it's not a parenting plan. I cannot change anybody's life. You're not more busier than the president or anybody. No matter how busy you are, you can raise a healthy family. The boy is a mirror of you. You are the man. You are the man that boy will become. What are you modeling the secrets? Who are you chatting with? Why are you chatting with another woman that's not your wife? Why are you connecting with another woman that's not your wife? Why are you having a sexual conversation with a woman that's not your wife? Your boy will reflect that. Why? Why are you moving with friends that are drinking and you are enjoying at 12 midnight? Why? Why are you not reading? Some fathers will struggle to come out for morning devotion. You can't pray. They will beg you to go to church and pray. And you want your child to turn out well. It's a mirror. That's why he can also come out and pray. It's a shame when I hear women say, my wife is the prayer warrior. She's the spiritual machine holding our home. Your wife is the foundation, right? You can't have two foundations. And you can't relegate your duty to a woman. No. There's no transference of duty as a man. It is you. You are the man. You won't pray. You will not read the Bible. You will not go to church. You will not. And some people that are here that are the holy ones, the Jesus' sons and daughters. Can those some women are here dropping? Oh, we go to church. We go to church. We read the Bible. Jesus is a perfect example. He went fishing with his disciple. John could lean on his shoulder. Even when he knew that Judas was stealing from him, he still didn't shut him out. He's a perfect example. Let's follow him. He didn't shut out Judas. They could connect. That is a father who was holistic and intentional. Look at the father of the prodigal son. Even when the boy left, he could still come back. He could still come back because he knew his father will accept him. Their home was a safe haven for emotions. Your sons, once they did something small, they are shaking before you come back. They are rolling. They've died before you arrive because the lion will come and tear and kill. Look at the parents of Jesus. When they were looking for their child, they knew where the child was. They said, we know he's in the temple. They had understanding of who that child is. And when they went back to the temple, they didn't go and say, okay, you this boy, we are in the temple. What are you doing here? We're looking for you. No, they didn't beat it. They understood his purpose, his ministry, his purpose, and they helped him. If it was parents of today, that prodigal son came back. Say, you came back, you will die, you have finished the money. I told you that. Useless. Or he had Jesus' parents. You catch him in the temple, he will bleed. He would have bled. If he had killed him, how will he not save us? Some of you, fathers, our mouths are the razors, like Delilah. When they gave birth to Samson, they told the parents, a razor must not come on his head. But some parents, our mouths are like razor, shaving the destinies of our children. Like Delilah shaved and shut down Samson. The boy is a reflection of you. What kind of a father are you? It is not easy anywhere. It can't be easy. So let's take the bull by the horn. It can't be easy. I'm overwhelmed. I'm deeply troubled by what a lot of boys are going through. I'm overwhelmed by cases of fathers. Yes, we have a training for parents of boys. And I have a session for single mothers raising boys. You know, there's some mothers are even begging me. My husband is there, but I want to attend that session because I'm like a single mother in my home. Begging to attend because they know the father doesn't care. Parents of boys training. Next week, I'm sure Coach Wendy will talk more about this. An academy for boys. Come and learn and bring your boys in to learn too. I can talk and not stop because I'm carrying the grace of my mother in Israel, Coach Wendy, and so let me just stop here because it's really a deep and emotional time for me. I'm really burdened, and I wish I can pour out my heart to every father here. I wish you can wake up and say enough. Can't be losing our children. I'm tired of every day hearing boys crying in the session, talking about it. Bitter the pains. Why? You are the man. Let us rise up and be the change we want to see. Thank you, mother.
Oh,
The heat is plenty. The heat here is plenty. There is a lot of heat in the house. Uncle Ebuka,
Oh, great.
Uncle Ebuka, please pity us. Pity us, sir. We're sorry, sir.
When Ebuka
The
was
fire is too
speaking,
much.
and one of the things I
Whoa.
said was that some things are taught, some things are
Some
caught.
others are caught.
You will agree with me that this is not a Google matter. This is not we brought Google, we came to teach you. No. This is straight from heaven. It doesn't exist anywhere. You can't
At all.
find it. I keep telling you that there are templates, there are people that are called in this generation to deliver. And I make bold to say that Coach Ebuka has been called to deliver the boys of our time. And if you have a boy, any boy child, you should actually get your boy child to get into Coach Ebuka's academy. I can say, so not just because Ebuka is somebody I've mentored. In fact, I was listening to him. You know when you finish mentoring somebody, the person is speaking, and you're wondering, my goodness, I've never heard it before like this. Never ever. It hit me. He hit me back to back. This particular session, I don't think I particularly will recover in a while. All right, my husband is somewhere listening. I am here in this place, and I saw that many women had to steal from the back to go and connect and be listening.
We are seeing you people, though.
Man, Uncle Ebuka, I don't know what else to say, but I just want to say this was everything that every man needed to hear. If you're a man here, you need to send this to your friends. If you're a woman, you need to send it to your spouse. Uncle Joe, you agree with me that this was back to back? Uncle Joe is still there, or he's frozen? Oh, I can see that he's frozen.
Uncle Joe, can you hear us?
Can you hear us, sir?
I think his network
totally
is
frozen. It's totally frozen. And let us see, Coach Dozie. I think we should go ahead now with questions. We're going to take time into the panel session a bit. We apologize, panel session people. Please just hold on. We're going to go live at 11:30 for the panel session. Yeah, so that we can do all of this. But I want to also say that you can put the quote that resonates most with you. For me, it will be, it's not easy. It's not a parenting plan. Nobody has achieved success by complaining. Ebuka knows this. He knows how I keep saying all these complaints. It's not going to lead you anywhere. You can complain from now till tomorrow. It is not a parenting plan. Thank you so much, Coach Ebuka. Over to you, Coach Dozie.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much, Uncle Ebuka. It's been amazing. You see, I was making notes. The last thing you said really got me, and I was a bit emotional when you shared that a mother can actually be a single mother while the father is still there, and that was it hit me. I can't even begin to explain how it hit me, and that's a wake-up call for all of our fathers. Can we please not let our women be single mothers while we are still here, while the men are still around? Okay, that's a wake-up call for all of the fathers. I'm looking out for questions in the comment section. If you have a question, please shoot. We are ready. Uncle Ebuka is ready to take your question. Anywhere you bring the question from, Uncle Ebuka will give you a very befitting answer this morning. So while we wait for your questions to come through, I'm going to ask the media team to roll again the inner circle review. We have an inner circle review. Amazingly, the last one we listened to was from Uncle Ebuka himself. So let's look at the inner circle review again. But please drop your questions and we'll take them the moment we come back here.
My name is Ebuka Ede. I'm a husband, I'm a father, and I'm a member of the inner circle of the Intentional Parents Academy. TIP Inner Circle has been one of the best things that's happened to me. I have a daughter of 3. I have foster sons, that are in their teenage age, and even those that are above the teenage age. When I joined TIP last year, My daughter was still 2, and then my foster son, it was really tasking as I had a lot of things to do, my schedules, it was really clashing. At some point I was like, can I go on? Can I continue? I was like, okay, maybe I'll suspend it for another year. And I was just in the midst of that confusion last year. And when I came into one of the sessions one day, I haven't told Coach about it, and I can't remember what she said. I remember one of those sessions, after I had that thought, Coach was talking about having time. She kept saying, I have time to parent my children. I have time. It hit me. And I felt God was talking to me. And I told myself, I kept saying throughout that session, I have time. I have time to parent my children. I have time to parent my children. And I'm going to take this up. And one major lesson that I learned at the inner circle is that parenting is first about you. And I am first a father before I'm even a boys coach. And that is what God is going to really ask or require of me. How have I been able to raise my own children? I became intentional, attending classes, learning, equipping myself. I drew a structure. I was working with a structure, and that was one of the things we learned at Inner Circle, having a structure that works, having an effective structure, knowing that this time is allocated to these things are important, and I could see it playing out in my life and the way I raise my children. Just last week, my wife told me, wow, I really love the way you parent, our children. I can see results, I can see transformation in their life. In fact, she said, I need to join TIP immediately, Inner Circle immediately, because I can see it working. Even before your child is born, you need to start learning. Even while you are married or even preparing for, you need to start learning. As a toddler, I learned a lot in connecting. I could see that in my daughter. She can connect, she can speak, she can identify her body parts, she knows what to do, she knows when somebody is going beyond boundaries. She herself understands boundaries. She knows that, adult phones are for adults. Hearing the voice of Coach Wendy, the bishop, every day, it's just like God is speaking. The arrows just keep coming, and you are just awakening. Every session is an awakening for me. And people just tell me, how do you relate with this voice so easily? I just smile, and I know that what I'm learning from TIP is in sex conversation, is in connecting, is in building relevant skills. You could see the result practically in my children. You could see it even playing out in my own marriage. Just helps everything, realigns everything about you. And for me, I keep saying, Inner Circle is one of the best things that has happened to me. When I see the testimonies at TIP, I'm like, wow, I'm a living testimony. I keep saying we need to compile a book of our testimonials, and let the world see the transformation that we need. If every parent is in TIP, as in the transformation we need in the world, will just happen to us if we are ready to do the work. I'm having a beautiful family, a beautiful home, because I'm open to learning despite all that I know. And I want to employ every father here. We need you at the Inner Circle. Sometimes I wish every father can just be a part of what is happening at the Inner Circle, because it's a 360 turnaround, knowing where you need to be involved and how, the tools, and there is no way you will practice these tools and not see results. It's not possible. No matter. It's not possible. You must see results. And the crisis we're having at home, the disconnection of children with fathers, a lot of women are doing everything on their own. And it's just so beautiful when both partners work together to ensure that the children are raised. There's just a difference. I implore every father to be part of this, to do all you can to be in this. You will thank me later and say, thank you, that coach, for helping me join. That's why I'm a coach. I'm training everybody. I'm learning because I cannot fail as a parent because I'm a coach. Thank you, Coach Wendy. Thank you, TIP. Thank you, Inner Circle. Thank you, fathers that are listening to me. And I want to see you at the TIP, at the Inner Circle next year. I want it to be a harvest of fathers, because we are rising up to make the change. Thank you.
Awesome. Welcome back, everybody. Thank you very much, Uncle Ebuka. So see, Uncle Ebuka is in the Inner Circle.
Yes.
So if Uncle Ebuka is in the Inner Circle, I don't know what you are doing outside the yard. I don't know what you are doing around the fence. Just pay your gate fee and enter inside. pay your kids' fee and just come inside. He made a statement there. He said you need to you need to be willing to learn. You need to acknowledge your need for learning. Fathers, we need to acknowledge our need for learning. Humility is not weakness; it is strength in itself. Okay, so let us begin to take the questions now. There's a question from Kenneth Ame. He says, a boy at home is different from his father, his siblings, his friends. So where did he get his negative attitude from?
From the home. Thank you very much.
Okay.
From the home. First, thank you very much, Mr. Kenneth Ame, for asking that question. All right. Well, I've seen a lot of parents say that, I don't know where I got that from. Whatever a child becomes is first our responsibility. That is just the truth. We must first take responsibility for that. So if that child got that attitude from outside, let's imagine, it means the father or the parents have not been effective in parenting that made the child to go outside to learn that. So he got it from the home. That means there's a knowledge gap. There's a parenting gap at home, because a skilled child will not take negative behaviors outside. A child that understands values, that understands boundaries, that understands family values, if it has been inculcated into the child, he will not learn a bad behavior outside. So for a child to learn a bad behavior outside means there has been a knowledge gap, a parenting gap at home. So we bring it back that the child got it at home. Yes, he got it at home. If we do our work well, our children will go and try. Coach, one of my boys during this big term, I had a lot of talk with my boys. So one of them say, if I call the school, you'll be shopping. Top school in Abuja here, even a private Christian school. How they are just 6, 8 in the room, but one of the boys smuggled in a phone, all right, and is watching pornography. They watch every night. They will lock their room. They will gather in their corner and they'll be watching pornography. And I asked him, what were you doing? He said, me, I just used to lie down. I don't used to talk to them.
Okay, I think
looks like Coach Ebuka
is hooked.
Is frozen for a bit. Let's see whether he comes back. We're still waiting for your questions. Fathers, please ask your questions. Fathers, ask your questions. Learn. So
Coach Dozie, as we begin to count down to the TIP big conference, where you are going to be hearing Coach Dozie also. He has his own fire. He's talking slowly today. When he comes for you at the TIP annual conference, I'm sure you are going to also run away. But one of the things that
yes, I'm back.
Okay, good. That was very profound for me was the place of learning. We have a lot of men that are not learning, and then we expect our sons to learn. It was very profound. Maybe over to you. Sorry about.
Yes, so the boy told me that in their school, highly private school, even here in the state of Abuja, every night this boy smuggled in the phone and they're watching pornography every night. And I told him, he said, what should we? So he called me because and asked me what to do. I said, I've taught you what to do before. You don't just lie down. You speak. You tell them they can't do this around you. Tell them the school rules and how. I say it's not enough to lie down and not join them. You must be able to speak and stand for purity. They can't do it around you, not in your room. If they want to do that mess, they should do it outside and tell them you will report them. All right. So what happened now? He didn't pick that. That boy is in my academy. He didn't pick that negative behavior because I've taught him pornography, porn literacy, what will happen. But he came back and I have to equip him and say, go back and now defend the truth. All right. So they pick negative behavior outside when there's a parenting gap at home. So I'll still bring it back to our home. If we do our work well, the children will not go out and misbehave. That's why the inner circle helps us to draw structures, have conversations, know what to do. Because we always say an unskilled child will frustrate you. A child that has not learned will frustrate you. One of the greatest frustrations I've seen in parents is when you have a boy that is unskilled, that is stubborn, that is not listening. You have hypertension. So let's get knowledge and let's equip them well. That is my counsel.
All right. Thank you very much. All the people that are asking questions about where to get knowledge, you cannot be in this meeting and be asking where to get knowledge. If you're looking for knowledge,
you are in the citadel of knowledge already.
You are here. pursue Ebuka, pursue Uncle, pursue Coach Wendy, pursue TIP Inner Circle, pursue all of the guests we are having in this conference. Pursue them. You cannot. Knowledge is one of the marks of this generation is an abundance of knowledge. But you know, you need somebody to help you structure knowledge. That's another level. Someone that will help you structure this knowledge that is available. So one last question before we go, because our panel will come live in 5 minutes. Uncle Ebuka, this person, Mr. Ernest, says, why does a boy conform easily in school but delays to do the same at home?
Very good. In puberty, this is one of the courses we take at the Boys Academy. We won't take it for both boys and parents. In fact, one of the major courses we're taking this week in the parents.
Okay, I think he's frozen again. And while it comes back, you know, I like where Coach Chedozie.
Yes, in puberty.
Okay, you're back.
In puberty, there's something that happens as boys begin to grow. They get to that age where the opinions of their peers begin to, you know, make more sense to them as even more than their parents or their immediate environment. They want to hear, they want to get opinions from outside. That's why you see boys always excited when their parents are picking them at 6 or 7. When you are 12, 13, you come, they say, welcome, ma, welcome. So there's no excitement because they are beginning to now, you know, they are beginning to now find solace in their peers, in their environment. That's why the place of mentoring now becomes key. I tell fathers who say, I don't want my child to listen to any other person. At that time, they want to also get an external opinion. So if your house has a coach or a mentor that is not the parent at that time, you see that they will listen, you will say the same thing as a father, but they will take that of the coach very, very serious. It's just something that happens that they go through puberty. Most parents don't understand. They will always have friction with their sons. They want to be with their friends. They want to be with their peers. Their peers controls most of the things they learn at that time. That will keep saying, who are in the circle of your friend? Have your child been equipped to know how to withstand those challenges when he's among his peers? So these things must happen as boys begin to grow. Their peers, their immediate environment, the people in their circle influences them so well. If you have equipped them, then whatever they are learning there will not affect them negatively because they've been equipped from home. So get a coach. Just know that it's part of the system, part of the structure for your children. Be comfortable, but by teaching them what they need to do so that they cannot be influenced even with those peers. You can't separate them from their peers. That is the truth. And for those, okay.
Yeah, thank you so much, Coach Ebuka. One of the things I want to, you know, drop alongside what Coach Ebuka said is that it's an error to think that you have everything it takes to raise a free human being. It's an error to think that. You need people. And, you know, like I give the analogy of when you want to build a shanty and when you want to build a mansion. If you're going to raise a boy who would be able to lead and thrive, then you need people to help you erect that mansion. If you're thinking of raising a shanty, then you don't need coaches. Trust me, I am a coach. I am one of the biggest, world best coach, blah, blah, blah. No, call me anything. My children are mentored by coaches as well. Because I recognize that it's not all. Coach Dozier is here, Coach Ebuka is here, they mentor my son. You know, it's an error for you to think that only you have all it takes. Only you. No. You're too small for a big human being. You know, and one of the things that happens to a child is by the time your child starts to hit 10, you are no longer the most important person in their life of knowledge. You come from the first floor to the fourth floor. It's not something to fight. When you get to the fourth floor, what takes the head will be the peers. After the peers, number 2 is the other adults in their lives. Now the question will be, who will be that other?
Who are those adults?
If you do not deliberately put the other adult trusted, then your child is going to, you know, have access to any kind of adult. And we're going to have a panel session in a few minutes, and Coach David Folarami is going to be on that panel session. David will tell you his story about doing drugs for 7 years. Omo, you don't want to miss that session.
You don't want to miss that.
These are the issues. These are the real issues. All right. These are people that have worked with, and I tell you, the work that they do is something else. If you have a son, you have a child, whatever. Coach Jesus had a mentoring session coming up, Drive. Coach Ebuka is leading parent, you know, of boys next weekend. He runs the boys academy. If you have a boy, register that boy in that academy. Let him just be there and even learn from people. Stop this. You have it all. You don't have it all. Who told you? Who lied to you that you have it all? It's a lie from the pit of hell. And it's a lie set to destroy you, really. Because you keep lying to yourself on that. I know it all. I can do it all. And you end up actually not being able to get what is required, for your child. Because when that child is looking for that trusted adult, that number 2 person will be anybody. And it can be anybody on the street. I remember the other trusted adult I had was an auntie on the street. Imagine if this auntie was a bad person. So imagine if this other adult is a bad person. You need to think about it. And that's what TIP is about. We create structures for you. When you come in, part of what you do is to create a social roadmap for your Gen Z. You're creating that person who will be in your child's life in the next 10 years, intentionally, and not leaving it to chance. And then when you finish having the other adult, you have pop culture, which is number 3. And then after pop culture is you are number 4. You're on the 4th floor. From age 10, you're on the 4th floor. Don't fight it. Look for people who intentionally help you on this journey to help you pull through. The reason why a lot of people struggle with their children at teenage level is lack of knowledge. The reason why children struggle as teenagers is lack of knowledge. Get them get them to learn. That's the message. In fact, that's the cap of the message. Ebuka already, put all of these things, together. And I want to really intentionally say thank you to Coach Ebuka. Coach Ebuka is a friend, a brother, a mentee. But right now, I think listening to this session, he's mentoring me, so I'm listening. And I'm so grateful. My mentor once said something to me. He said, if you cannot convert my 10 years of foolishness to 3 months of success, then you have failed and I have failed. And today I want to say that I'm proud. I am proud. I am, in fact, I can't even say the way I feel. I listened to this session and I was asking myself, oh, wow, what happened here? What transformation happened here? And Coach Josie will agree with me that this was, everything that you want to hear. Coach Josie is also here. Please follow the coaches, follow Coach Ebuka on social media. Remember that I said that this forum is coming to you free. That doesn't mean that it wasn't paid for. Everything you can see here actually has money sticking out. The StreamYard was streaming from was paid for. It's not free. So I just want you to appreciate them, follow them, make sure that you actually do something with this knowledge. Coach
Ebuka _boys coach on IG if you want to know. Awesome. Ebuka boys coach. Just start Ebuka boys coach.
And you will see
on
him.
IG.
If you want to follow Dozier, you will see.
Is there another boys coach?
Academy. Is there another boys coach? This is the only boys coach. This is the only one. There's no other one. There's no other one. All right.
Thank you so much.
That I'm in my tribe, and if I continue like this,
yes, sir.
I'm going to
yes, sir.
So let's quickly go to the other room where we're going to be meeting Uncle Sele. Uncle Sele is a former military man who is now into teaching values. Omo, you want to listen. All right. And we also have Amojobo, who teaches men how to be the ideal man. And we also have the amazing
the one and only Uncle David.
One and only.
You want to listen to these guys. Thank you so much for joining us. Coach Ebuka, what will be your last words as we begin to round up?
Thank you, Mama. Go and get knowledge, man. And it is not easy. It's not a parenting plan. Go and get knowledge. Join. I want to see you all in the inner circle by December. Thank you, Mama. Thank you, Coach Chiedozie. Thank you, Uncle Joe. You are the bestest best. We muse.
Thank you. See you in the other room now.
All right.